Yeah, good morning YouTube. So I'm doing a little work on my Type A Machines Series 1 Pro 3D printer. I've got the extruder taken apart. It actually comes apart pretty easily. There's just one screw that holds the front of the extruder onto the back side. You've got your hot end right here, and that just fits up inside there. And then you've got your filament cooler that faces down on the build platform. And the reason I have this apart is the fan there in the back has started making noise when it first starts up. So the folks at Type A Machines sent me out a new fan. So it's a 40mm fan. The only strange thing about them is they're 24 volts. So I guess everything on this printer is 24 volts. Instead of 5 or 12 volts. So I've got to get the fan off the back side there, and let's see, this is your filament guide here. There's two Allen screws up there that hold that on, and other than that, from this point down everything's all metal. I guess this is called the G2 extruder, and I've got the 0.4mm nozzle in there. So anyway, I've got to get to that fan, see if I can get the old one out. It's actually pretty easy to work on. There's one screw here holds the front. There's two screws that hold that fan on. And the one thing I've noticed is you need to be careful with getting these wires up out of the way when you put this together. So you have to get those wires above these wires. So you want the hot end wires to be below there so these don't hang down. Okay, I got the fan loose back there. I just wanted to make sure I see how the cables run. So you got the fan as the wires went off the top, and they come in, yeah, so they come in kind of through this loop back here, and then let's see, there's actually two connectors on top. Looks like the part cooler fan is here, and then the extruder fan is the second one back. Okay, so got the old fan out, and one thing I guess they don't mention is they've drilled the holes out in the fan. These are 4mm screws. Okay, there we go, YouTube. Just drilled out the two diagonal corners, 4mm bit. Just kind of went slow so I didn't break anything, but now the mounting screws will go through there. In fact, this side has a recess. Yeah, they stick through just a little bit there. Okay, YouTube, got the printer on. So you have a 2.5mm Allen for the that screw, and then the fan screws are 2mm, so you get both Allen keys. The only thing is I probably would like a longer one of these, because this is right up next to the fan there. That one is not making any noise now, so that's good. Okay, YouTube, I think I finally got tired of fooling around with these wires. Notice they were getting a little bit frayed, the insulation down here. So I popped them out of the little connector there and ran some heat shrink over there from 1/2 inch out from where they come out of the fan over here to kind of protect that section. And then I made an educated guess that this was probably ABS, and I had a little scrap of ABS from a test piece that I did. So I just cut that off, put a couple drops of acetone, and kind of wiggled the piece around a little bit. And now that basically fills in that gap and forces the wires up. So, because right here is where the extruder is, right behind, you can see there's the hole. So the extruder is just maybe 1mm or 2 below this surface here. It's really close, and you got to keep those wires up and out of that area there. So I think this should do the trick. And this will make it so when you put it back together, they're automatically out of the way instead of having to make sure you get them routed properly, because that's what I did last time, is I forgot to get these wires tucked out of the way completely, and they started rubbing they've rubbed, because when that hangs down, this wire right here will get down right into the hot plastic, and it starts burning the or just wearing the insulation away there. So hopefully that'll do the trick. I will clean this up a little bit, put it back on the printer, and we'll see how it works. So I just thought I'd pass on that little tip. That would be a really nice thing if they added to their 3D model of this fan diverter. That's basically all this is it just diverts the airflow of the fan to blow this way over right over the extruded point. Okay, there we go, YouTube. I think this will work much better. So there's my little piece of plastic I added, and then the heat shrink goes around the middle part of the hot end extruder there, and then wraps around so you can kind of come through here, through this loop of wire back there, and then up into the connector. So I think that'll keep the wire well out of the way. I don't have to worry about it anymore. And then you can see how close the extruder is there to the bottom. So you got to keep everything up here. I gave that a little bit of a sanding so it's nice and smooth. Yeah, I think that's going to work a lot better. I was thinking I might try to see if I could get a hold of that 3D model and modify it, but it's just so easy to glue on an extra piece. It would take more time to download the file and edit it and clean it up and all that sort of stuff, versus a couple drops of acetone and a scrap of plastic, and it's good to go. So I think I'm going to give this a try. Yeah, I'll let you know if I run into any problems, but I think this should solve my big issue with that this fan and the wires right there. It's just the cable management is always a problem. So you got to make sure everything's out of the way before you fire it up, and I didn't do that last time. So now I think this should keep those wires out of the way automatically, and I don't need to check that. So if you have any comments or questions, post up in the comment section below. And as always, thanks for watching.